Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty powerful. We're going to be looking at Waswa's story,
Oh, okay.
and specifically just the very beginning of it. And we've got this YouTube video transcript,
Right.
which is just incredible, the imagery and the emotion in it. And then we've got this little snippet of text,
Right. Yeah.
and yeah, we're going to use those to kind of put ourselves right there with Waswa.
I think it's really interesting how just like visual descriptions can be so powerful.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you can just like get such a strong feeling
Yeah.
from just reading words.
Yeah, and this transcript, man, they did not hold back. Like it starts off, and we're right there in Waswa's village, Olwanda. Um, they talk about this cracked earth, and it's so quiet. Like the only sound is like the crying of hungry children, and the
Oh.
walls. Like you can see these faded patterns,
Right.
but the walls themselves are just kind of sagging.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it paints like a really stark picture.
It's really amazing, like how our brains use these metaphors.
Hmm.
Like to help us understand concepts. Like when you hear like cracked earth and silence and sagging walls,
Okay.
like those aren't just descriptions.
Yeah.
It's like they're giving us like a visual cue
Right.
so that we can like instantly understand the emotional landscape
Yes.
of Olwanda.
Like the village itself is
Yeah.
just like a reflection of how the people are feeling.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and it also kind of hints at
Yeah.
the fact that there are these faded patterns on the walls.
Yeah.
That means that like at some point.
It wasn't always like this.
Right, exactly. It wasn't always
Yeah.
like this. So it really kind of puts the severity of this famine
Right.
into perspective. Like this is a total upheaval of their way of life.
Exactly.
Like this isn't just a bad season or two. This
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah, it's real serious stuff.
yeah.
And then, we get to this scene where Waswa's family's all huddled around this like dying fire.
Oh,
And they're telling him that he needs to leave, and you can just feel like the weight of their words, like they're heavy with grief. And it makes you think about how difficult that decision must have been.
yeah. I mean, like sending your child away,
Yeah.
even if you believe it's for a better life.
Right.
That's like such a universal theme of sacrifice
Yeah.
throughout human history.
Yeah.
Whether it's like in literature or like historical accounts or even just like current events,
Right.
it really speaks to like the resilience of the human spirit, like
Right.
our capacity to like make these incredibly tough choices when we're facing hardship. I mean, they know that it's going to be hard for him to leave,
Yeah.
but they're choosing like the possibility that he might survive
Right.
over the certainty of their suffering together
Absolutely.
if they all stay.
And Waswa seems to understand,
Yeah.
you know. Like he leaves with unshed tears,
Oh.
and you can just feel that weight, like all his family's hope is on him.
It's a lot to carry.
Yeah. And he's leaving behind a world that might never recover.
Yeah, I think this is where we really have to consider that larger context.
Right.
Like what led to this famine in the first place? I know you mentioned climate change.
Well, yeah, and political instability.
Oh, right. Yeah, those are huge factors. Like they disrupt agriculture all over the world.
Okay.
Climate change, it brings unpredictable weather. So you get these droughts, you get floods, and it makes it really hard to grow food.
Yeah.
And then when you throw in political instability on top of that,
Yeah.
well, that disrupts the distribution systems.
Right.
And sometimes it even leads to conflict, which just makes the food shortages so much worse.
Exactly. So Waswa's story isn't just about one family struggling. Like
Mhm.
it's actually reflecting something much bigger.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a microcosm of
Yeah.
what millions of people around the world are going through.
Right. People who are having to leave their homes
Exactly.
because of stuff that's totally outside of their control.
Exactly. And it kind of gives us a way to grasp, the human impact
Right.
of these really complex global issues.
Yeah. So it's really making me think, what's next for Waswa? Like we've seen him start this journey,
Yeah.
born out of necessity and hope.
Right.
But will he find that place where life flows like a river, like his father described?
Mhm.
What kind of challenges is he going to face?
Right.
And what does this whole journey mean? Not just for Waswa, but for everyone else who's in this kind of situation.
Those are some big questions.
Yeah.
I think those are questions that we should all be asking ourselves.
Right.
Waswa's story, it really highlights
Yeah.
these global issues like food security,
Right.
climate migration, like the human cost of poverty and conflict.
Yeah. It's easy to forget when you just see the statistics that there's real people
Right.
behind all those numbers.
Yeah, with their own stories and hopes and dreams.
Yeah, trying to make their way in a world that's constantly changing.
A world in flux.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the beginning of Waswa's journey. And I don't know about you, but it's definitely got me thinking. You know, it's a powerful reminder of how connected we all are
Yeah.
and the challenges we face together. So keep those questions in mind, and we'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.